It takes a lot for me to get excited about one player, because football's a team sport that relies on a lot of guys. But when you tell me Nebraska went into the portal and pulled out one of the top 6 interior linemen in the entire country, that's enough to get me going. That ranking is just a ranking though, and Spindler's more than just a number. He's a 6'5", 325-pound guard that started 13 games for Notre Dame this season. The same Notre Dame that made it all the way to the national championship with a top 20 run game and a top 10 scoring offense. And at first, you might think, why? Why Nebraska? Well, let me tell you, they're here to spend, but that's not the main reason. By the looks of the graphic he posted where he had on Nebraska gear as a baby, I'd guess there's a deeper connection. But Rhule's sales pitch was obvious. He's got a top 10 transfer class. Their future NFL QB's going into his second season with a proven OC and dynamic weapons all around him. And if you're trying to boost your stock to get drafted, come prove it in the Big Ten. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I was getting nervous. Nebraska was the highest bidder on like 3 linemen that came on visits, but Wake, Oregon, and Kentucky all pulled them away. Now, maybe there's more to the story and Rhule changed his mind on one of them, but it still felt like they were striking out in the ugliest way. But with Spindler, that vibe changed. The dude played at the highest level. He was on a team that beat USC, Indiana, Georgia, and Penn State. If Rhule's got a list of boxes he wants to transfer to check, Rocco checks them all. Home run addition worth at least one more win next season. And if I'm Dylan Raiola, I could not be more excited for the opportunity put in front of me with all these new additions who can help take my game to the next level. Let's just look at my early prediction for the depth chart on offense. And any name you see in red means he started at least 6 games in his career for a Power 4 team. Now, this is a pre-spring, pre-Holgorsen having some influence on the O-line or the receiver room. But I want you to look at the experience they bring back and how many former starters they've got competing for a job. The O-line's f***ing awesome. Gatula was a starting tackle last season, and it was Prohaska's job the 2 seasons before. Corcoran started looking better before his injury, and he can play more than one spot. But the young guys coming back gets me even more excited. Latovsky's a guard, but Evans could start at center if Sledge isn't ready. Pritchett's still got room to grow, but you don't pay a guy that much money with that high of a ceiling to not try and get him ready to be your full-time starter. The skill positions are sick. Raiola's coming off a choppy freshman season, but he's shown he can develop into who we thought he was. Johnson's back as the every down back with limited competition, at least for now. Key, Hunter, and Barney have the inside track to starting jobs. Carter Nelson, Hardly Gilmore, and Janiran Bonner all have multiple catches and touchdowns as Power 4 receivers. And the potential in that room with how highly all these guys were recruited is insane. The tight end room's got Luke Lindenmeyer back, who has started multiple games. Heinrich Harburg hasn't been a tight end for that long, but I'm sure he'll develop into a great one. And at least 2 other guys in that room who are going to fill the void for what they lost. But you didn't get here because Rhule built a roster and guys stayed to get developed into pros. You got here because Rhule saw the writing on the wall. He saw that to keep up with the Ohio States, the LSUs, and the Georgias, you have to win in the portal. You have to get your fans and your boosters to buy in and support the new way of doing things. And now that he's landed a top 5 class nationally and the number 1 class in the Big Ten, it's pretty clear that Matt Rhule's on the right track with his rebuild. One more thing I saw that kind of made me sad was that Nebraska won't have a spring game this year. And Rhule said it's because he doesn't want other teams trying to steal players from him, which I get. It kind of felt like this was coming regardless. You had 2 major injuries to Bly Hill and Demetrius Bell in the last one. So with even less guys on the roster to get reps, how can you afford to risk that? Fans want as much access as they can get. And selfishly, people like me need it so we can get more clicks on our content. But it is what it is. With all the new changes we've seen over these past 5 years, there's going to be some give and take. But at the end of it all, at least we got the video game back. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments below. How many wins is Spindler worth if he starts at guard for the entire season? Who wins the starting tackle jobs with 4 guys coming back with years of experience? And who's the number 1 portal addition on offense this cycle? I know a lot of people like the skill weapons, but shoring up an O-line to protect the star QB makes me pretty damn excited for what comes next. But that's all I've got for today. So until next time, thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Go Big Red.